path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this afternoon, kidnapped journalist in Port Harcourt regains freedom. Former Governor Wike El-Rufai reportedly make ministerial list. Federal government describes planned NLC strike as illegal. Court dismisses DSS request to further detain suspended CBN governor. Governor Fubara justifies cancellation of employment at Ignatius Ajuru University of Education. NNPCL uncovers fresh 162 illegal pipeline connections, refineries in Niger Delta. And on the foreign scene, detained Niger president vows to protect hard-won democratic gains. My name is Jude Omamegbe, and this is the news.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Good afternoon and welcome. The Napa journalist Priscilla Woja has regained her freedom. Family sources say she was released early this morning. Mrs. Wokocha, who is the director of news, River State Broadcasting Corporation, was kidnapped by gunmen on her way from work around Gulf State Highway, Transamadi, Port Harcourt on Thursday last week. After her kidnap, her captors demanded 150 million naira before reducing it to 10 million naira. Following several calls for her unconditional release, the River State Police Command is expected to speak on this. Moving on, there are indications that the former River State Governor Nyesom Wike made the list of ministerial nominees sent to the Senate for screening and confirmation. Reports from the Punch indicate that former Governor of Kaduna State Nasir El-Rufai also made the list. This is as Nigerians await Senate President Godswill Akpabio to announce the list of nominees during plenary today. President Tinubu, according to the 1999 Constitution, is allowed 60 days after assuming duties to unveil his cabinet members. Today is the 58th day since the president assumed duties. The federal government has described the notice of strike action by the NLC as illegal and in contempt of court. The Federal Ministry of Justice, through the Solicitor General of the Federation, Mrs. B.E. Jedi Agba, reminded the union of a pending lawsuit before the National Industrial Court granting an injunctive order restraining the NLC and Trade Union Congress from embarking on the planned industrial action or strike of any nature pending the hearing and determination of the pending motion on notice. Meanwhile, the special advisor to the President on Energy, Olu Verije, met with leaders of the Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress at the Presidential Villa yesterday to continue talks on palliatives to mitigate the impact of subsidy removal. The steering committee discussed how stakeholders can speed up interventions to bring relief, particularly regarding compressed natural gas (CNG), mass transportation, cleaner energy, and reducing transportation cost. But the President of the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC), Joe Ajero, says organized labor will go ahead with a protest on the 2nd of August. This on Channels Telling.
We need to get the position of the NLC very clear on our communique. Our communique stated clearly that by 2nd of August, we're back on a nationwide protest as a first measure towards other measures for the government to reverse certain anti-people policies. And that's clear. Nothing has changed that as we discuss now. That's where we stand.
The NLC president also explained why organized labor will proceed with the protest next week, despite meetings it held with the federal government yesterday.
That we had an agreement with the government over the issue of 520 increase in PMS. And that agreement, the committee was yet to start work when the government announced another increase. So the committee set up based on 520 equally met today to start work on the issue of 120. The issue of the recent increase, 617 or 630, is not on the table. And it was on the basis of that we have issued our protest notice.
When asked about the court order stopping NLC from embarking on the strike, he had this to say. Take a listen to him, please.
The issues there are different. The issues there are issues around 520. The issues are being handled in the courts. The issue of 620, 630 is not before any court, and our response to it is not a strike action; it's a protest action. I'm not sure there will be an injunction against protests by Nigerians.
Moving on, some residents of Port Harcourt are feeling helpless over the continued economic hardship caused by the removal of petrol subsidy. As you may know, the new pump price of petrol has further led to an increase in the price of most commodities, forcing many to drop their standards of living. Some residents spoke to our correspondent.
It has not been easy. We are adjusting every program, every movement, losing clients as a result of the difficulties affecting every area.
I'm just trying to adjust to. Before now, I always turn on my generator every day. But now, I can't remember the last time I did. We are just adjusting now. There's no hope again for the fuels come down.
We don't have any choice because we have to just push anyhow it is. How will we do?
We are not breathing. I just have to plead with our leaders. They can make this fuel come down if they want.
Also, a pastry chef, Ife Azike, said some bakeries are cutting corners to keep their business afloat, as they are not allowed to increase the price of bread until their association approves of it. She wants the government to subsidize the price of flour.
Maybe that's what's leading to a lot of substandard products in the market. Those who are doing mass production, but we that deal with oven fresh direct to the customers, we just have to maintain our standard, knowing that we are selling at end users price to whenever price increment is affected. But with regards to cake, that one does not have a control price. You choose what you can afford. Government should please. It's not about saying they want to support, because it's really difficult for we SMEs. And if government can even regularize things that will make this flour to remain stable, how can we be buying flour from 10,000 to 30-something thousand a bag?
Our correspondent gathered that the jumbo-sized loaf of bread in Port Harcourt now goes for between 1,000 and 1,002 in shops, while it retails at 800 and 900 depending on the brand. Sliced bread of different sizes is sold between 550 naira to 900 naira in shops. The price of medium-sized unsliced bread ranges from 250 to 700 depending on the size and brand. Also, regular round bread goes for 200 and retails between 180 and 190, while the smallest loaf of bread is sold between 100 and 120 naira. Bread prices slightly differ from those in regular shops and supermarkets. In the meantime, the former zonal chairman of Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, Godwin Aruba, says he's not sure if the planned strike by the NLC will achieve its purpose. Mr. Aruba tells correspondent Soibi Ruwari that Nigerians have lost confidence in the NLC.
I, as a person, do not believe that action will even take place. That's the truth. I don't have confidence in the ability of Labour to drive this through, because they have said it 2 times, this is the 3rd time, and nothing has happened. But I believe that they should find the courage. Otherwise, their name is at stake. This is because the truth of the matter is that, as we speak today, the only pressure group that we can find is the Labour movement. But they've not been able to live up to the expectations lately. But let's believe that this time they will be able to, put their ass together.
Mr. Aruba, however, said no effort is wasted, and as such, organized labor should redeem its image despite existing legal issues against strikes.
If initially they don't start them for on strikes based on the previous actions that the ordinary have taken, no time is left, because the essence of the strike is irrelevant as we speak. Nigerians are suffering. If the labor say they want to go on strike, it is proper and it's very time. This action is overdue. This court gave an injunction and government is still going ahead to negative things that they've been doing. I don't think you have to tie the hand of labor behind and continue to promote them.
Clinics and outpatient services have continued to run at the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital UPTH despite the nationwide strike by resident doctors. Our correspondent who visited the hospital at the start of the strike yesterday reports that consultants have taken over the roles of resident doctors. This has, however, increased the waiting time and slowed healthcare services at the hospital. A mother whose son sought healthcare at UPTH was asked to come next Monday to be attended to. She spoke to our correspondent.
The president is somebody who
We are here yesterday for my son. Then they say we should come here by 8:30 this morning today. Then as we come, they say I should show that my folder, for them to attend to him. One doctor say there is a strike. They say yes, there is a strike. I beg, my son case is somehow is spelling him. He said no, they cannot see them. If they mistakenly see them walking to us, they will collected 100,000 for their hand. I feel bad. I'm not happy because last night my son no sleep.
Earlier, the president of ARD at UPTH, Onua Ibe Arthur, said promises by the House of Representatives to look into the issues affecting resident doctors in the country do not translate into implementing their demands. Well, still to come, NNPCL uncovers fresh.
Stay on track with Nigeria Info.
Fubara says his decision to cancel the recent employment at the Ignatius Ajuru University of Education was because the process contravened the earlier directive of the government. Governor Fubara said this when members of the National Youth Council of Nigeria River State chapter visited him. The governor also promised that the second process would be strictly based on the initial approval by the state government.
Higher institutions, who are the major people you need? It's the academic staff. In that kind of situation, what do you expect us to do? Because we want to please our people, we swallow it? No, we can't do that. That is the major reason of that cancellation. We're going to revisit it, and that second process will be strictly on the initial approval, ensuring that the academic staffs are more.
And Governor Fubara also revealed plans by his administration to work to attract foreign investment into the state, which he said will help reduce youth restiveness. Earlier, the chairman of the National Youth Council of Nigeria River State chapter, Chijioke Ihunwo, appealed to the governor to reconsider his decision on the Ignatius Ajuru University of Education employment process because it affects the majority of the youths of the state. The Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja has dismissed a request filed by the DSS seeking a 14-day extended detention order for the suspended Central Bank Governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele. Justice Hamza Muzal dismissed the request today. The DSS based its application on purported new evidence it had discovered. The application was discreetly filed by the DSS's legal team yesterday and came before the vacation judge today. Meanwhile, the DSS says it will probe the fracas involving its officials and personnel of the Nigerian Correctional Service at the Federal High Court in Lagos. Recall that last Tuesday, DSS operatives got physical with the prison officers on the court premises over the custody of the suspended governor of the CBN, Godwin Emefiele.
And now the business news.
To business now. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited says it has discovered 162 illegal pipeline connections and illegal refineries in the Niger Delta, mostly in Bayelsa, in the past week. In a documentary by the oil company, NNPCL said 93 illegal pipeline connections and 69 illegal refineries were discovered between July 15th and 21st and had been destroyed. In entertainment, singer Rema refused to perform in Atlanta over the poor state of the venue. In a video clip, Rema told his fans that Afrobeats is bigger than the venue and his fans deserve to be treated better. In sports, the Super Falcons in Australia are playing 1-1 in their ongoing second match of the group. And as at the 53rd minute, it still remains the same. 1 goal to Australia and 1 goal to the Super Falcons of Nigeria. And finally, from the international scene, Niger's President Mohamed Bazoum has vowed to protect the country's hard-won democratic gains after he was detained. And though President Bazoum said the hard-won gains will be saved to address hostage to President kidnapped journalist Akispa Walker has regained her freedom for Governor Wike Fire, reported among the ministerial nominees before this. The government says Anshna's labor is illegal. An FCT court has this request by the DSS to detain the suspended CBN referee for 14 days. Governor Fubara has justified the cancellation of it at the Juru University of Education. Has had fresh 162 illegal pipeline connections referees in the Niger Delta. And on the scene, President Bazoum of Niger has vowed to protect the new country. Mostly then this afternoon with temperatures of about 27 to 30 degrees centigrade. Please be advised. Peace is the purpose of a nation. Let peace reign. My name is Jude Omami. Thank you for listening. And good afternoon.